Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent. If there will be any distortion, please let me know by raising your hand. So last time we discussed about paragraph writing. So today we will discuss about essay writing. It's an interesting topic. So we are going to start. Writing is not a skill; it is an art. Painter needs a brush, musicians need notes, and writer needs words. So your words should be very clear, specific, and respective. Carefully selected the words, as the words are the tools that a writer uses to turn his average writing into a beautiful works of art. So your words should speak. It should be so efficient that your words should speak without you. So you should be very careful about that. It's an art, not a science to write. Writing, publishing is an art. It's not a science. So you should be very careful in that. Essay, the word essay literally means an attempt, and hence essay is the name given to the form of composition which is a short attempt on a given subject. Usually it gives details of narrative, a descriptive description of some subject, and information on some subject. The essay is the most interesting exercise in English composition if you know how to write an essay. Otherwise, you will not like it. So you should be very careful about that while writing. Your words should be very good and specific. You should know what an essay is in actual. The word essay is defined in the concise Oxford Dictionary as a literary composition, literary composition usually prose and short on any specific subject. It is a written composition giving expression to one's own personal ideas or opinions on some specific topic. But the term usually covers also any written composition, whether it expresses personal opinions or gives information on any given subject or details of a narrative or description. So, what is the main characteristics of the essay writing? These characteristics should be in your essay if you wants a good essay. So, unity. There should be a unity in the words. There should be flow in the words. The words should be in the paragraphs should be in order. The idea should be in an order and a specific style. It should have, and you should have your personal touch in that. Your observation or your feelings about their specific topic. An essay must have the unity, treating as an orderly manner of one subject that you are going to discuss or elaborate. It should be concise, precisely written, not too much long and not too much short that a person cannot understand the exact idea, or maybe there should not long sentences and long stories in that a person lose his or her interest. So it should be simple, direct, and clear, and it should have an individuality or show the personal touch of the writer. So there are different types of essay. So first we will discuss these three: narrative, expository, and persuasive. So the word in actual told you what is narrative. If you know the mean. Expository, that explains everything. Persuasive, in which you try to convince someone. So narrative essays usually tells a story. A narrative essay is an actual a story in which you just write a specific thing, and when you read it, it is like someone telling someone something to you. Tell about a time you went on a special trip is an example of narrative essay. So this is you just explain what you just do on the trip. In actual, you are telling something. That is a type of narrative essay. Then we have pre-word. First, there are some stages of writing, as we already discussed, that pre-write, writing and post writing. So in the pre-writing we just for essay writing we just have to make some boxes in which we just gather the data for specific paragraphs, or you can say you just gather all the data accordingly. Like if you ever seen a cartoon movie, then you know about the sketchbooks in which you have the sketches, and every sketch has a specific paragraph, and every paragraph has specific story. So you have to do this for if you want to write a narrative essay. Like a storyboard, try to draw some boxes, not less than four, and each box should have a specific figure and or a picture, and the picture will tell you a story, and that all the stories will coincide with each other. So here we have, sorry, this one, storyboard. So here we have some example, like if a person, here we have six boxes, and each box has a story, and then one essay will be in conclusion. Like first a person is sleeping, a lady is sleeping, then then she hears some voice, and that voice, and then she thinks that he just that there is a mouse in the room, and she will just leave the room quietly. In the fourth position, she feels some voice of the mouse, like rattle rattle, and when at the fifth box he just realized that it's not a mouse, it's just a cat, and she likes the cats. So in the takeaway home story is I will never forget the scary night. So this is in actual a whole essay you can write, that a person is sleeping, what she was feeling, then she heard a voice, and she become afraid, and then she makes some stories in your mind that maybe there is a mouse in the room, and then she thought that how she will handle this situation. She thinks that she will leave the room quietly, then she finds some voices, and then she realized that it is not a mouse, it's a cat, and she liked cats. So it's a complete story. So if you want to write an essay, you have this type of five or six boxes in which you have some paragraphs that will coincide with each other. So here if you want to write a expository essay, so what will be we have to do, we have to explain the idea incomplete, complete idea in a story. For this we use a happy alien. Here draw one head and three legs, and every leg has a sporting data or a sporting paragraph. Here we have that alien. So here we have the face of the alien, then we have three legs, and the story is like this one. First we have favorite food, like your favorite food is pizza. The first one is the first leg is it's cheesy. Second one, I eat it when I am doing fun things, and the third one, there are so many varieties. So if you want to write a paragraph that is exploratory paragraph on pizza, then you have three different paragraphs that you can summarize to make an essay. So each leg will become one supporting paragraph. So make sure to think of lots of target skills to add when you write. You may want to write a grabber above him and a takeaway below him. So drafting, after that you have to draft the topic from that story, and the topic should be a single one that you are going to discuss. It should has a portion of beginning, then a body of the essay, and then there will be a conclusive ending. And you also have to write a good content, and you have to include your creativity skills to make it more brief and more precise and more attractive. Then you have to edit it and revise it again and again, again and again, again and again, until you will fix it completely with the grammar and spellings and typographical mistakes. Then you can proofread it, as we discussed in paragraph writing. Same steps we have here in essay writing. So now we have different types, another different types of essays, like argumentative essay, compared and contrast essay, narrative essay, we discussed about that. Persuasive essay, in which you have to convince someone. Descriptive essay, in which you have to give the complete description. Cause and effect essay, and expository essay. In argumentative essay, it's a specific genre of essay writing that requires to investigate a specific topic and to collect and generate a specific type of evidences and data to write it in a concise manner. So here we have some examples of argumentative essay type topics, that is argumentative essay on local procedure and organic produce, or local produce and organic produce, essay on feminism, modern technology, argumentative essay. In all these types of essay you have to give some arguments by generating or investigating the topic, and you have to gather the data, and then you have to give the argumentations. This type of essays is known as argumentative essay, and the other type is compare and contrast essay. In this type of essay, basically a composition has made which has two different points, that has comparison and contrast with each other, and has to reveal the differences and similarities, benefits and disadvantages of both the points in that essay. That type of essay is known as compare and contrast essay. Here we have the example as science and art essays, difference between men and women and their workplace. So we have to gather all the data about the men and women, and then we compare, we will discuss the differences and similarities, similarly with the science and art essay comparison. So now we have a narrative essay that we already discussed, in which we just tell a story, a specific story we have, and we have our personal experiences in that story. Like I met with an accident, I visit the zoo, my PhD story, my life, my bibliography. So all of these are in narrative essay, in which you have the personal experience of that specific story, as we already discussed above with the story that a person is sleeping in the room, and she feels that she felt that there is a mouse in the room. So that is a narrative essay. In persuasive essay we have to convince someone, we have to gather the evidences, we have to gather the arguments, we have to gather the specific conclusions, and we have to convince our audience specifically in that essay. It is important to learn how to write a persuasive essay in a way that will catch the reader's mind at once. So here we have two examples. Keep our libraries open. In this type of essay, in which you want to pursue or convince the specific authoritative competent authority that libraries should be open, or the effect of alcohol on human body. So there should be a ban on that, or this type of essays in which you are going to convince, and you want to take some decision from the competent authorities. Then we have descriptive essay, in which a descriptive essay requires a strong accent on the observation and the descriptions provided by the author. The facts in this type of essay can be just the background of the vivid experiences presented by the writer. It is crucial to focus strictly on the subject of that description. So, in description essay, like you are going to write about the capital of Pakistan, and that is Islamabad, or the biggest city of the Pakistan, that is Karachi, or you can say Islam and Pakistan, how we practice Islam in Pakistan. So, this type of essay is the descriptive essay, that you should know a specific type of background, and you have to explain it accordingly. So, discursive essay, the goal of a discursive essay is to present a balanced and objective examination of a subject. Like an argumentative essay, the topic may be controversial, but the discursive essay attempts to present much more balanced discussion of the issue, in which you have to balance both the sides, the positive points and the negative points in the argumentation. It does not, however, have to be expressly neutral. If you don't, if you are biased, then you should avoid these types of essays. The essay should present both sides of the discussion, the positive points, the negative points, the similarities and dissimilarities. You have to discuss both the sides of the coin, supported by facts and research. The author may draw tentative conclusions about the subject he just investigated. So the example is experiments on animals are neither good nor bad. So you have to explain both the sides, that how the experiments on animals is beneficial and how it's dangerous. Cause and effect essay. This type of essay is concentrated on the ability of a writer to connect the reasons that the things happen and the consequences they might have. In other words, it is the connection between the causes of events and the affects this cause have on any analyzed aspect. So here we have energy crisis in Pakistan some years back. We have that one. So you, if you just discussing the cause and how this crisis will affect our economy, our education, our country. So these types of essay will include in cause and effect essay, similar with problems in big cities like the transport problems, water problems, or the cancer. Cancer is the biggest problem in the world nowadays for health. So if you are going to discuss that how cancer cause and how it will affect the communities, these types of essays will be in cause and effect essay. Expository essay, in this type of essay the aim is to gather or to explain some subject by presenting a clear and complete picture of others people's view on this certain situation. You have to gather the data and the point of views of other person on a specific subject, and then you have to write an essay is known as expository essay. It may also be a form of a report. The main idea of any expository essay is to present a certain event or situation in detail to the reader or your audience. So, Xerox business systems, religions in education, these types of, if you have to gather the data that how people see the religious studies or religion in education, and you have to write the essay accordingly. So here we have a basic format of essay writing. First we have introduction, then we have thesis statement, or you can say problem statement, and then you have the body of the essay, and then you have to conclude it. First part of an essay, try to capture the reader's attention. Introduction format, attention getter, and state your problem, bridge or transition sentences, thesis statement. So all these we already discussed in paragraph writing. Similarly, here we have ways to start your introduction. Your strategy should be very clear, and you have to provide some interesting hooks or interesting knowledge to the reader, so he just have to jump in to read your whole essay. So use thought-provoking quotation. So here we have an example like here is a typographical mistake also. Genome, yes. Today's genome owners become tomorrow's leaders. Genomes are creatures to be loved, not feared. So if you start your essay with these types of quotations, a person will force you will you are going to force a person to read your essay in actual. Similarly, ask different types of questions or puzzling or stories or any hooks in your essay, so person have to read your essay. For example, why don't many people like genomes? In 1693 the first genome was brought to America, or little Susie looked out her window only to see her precious genome Willard was being stolen. So these types of catchy statements you have to write. So a person has to read your introduction section or the whole essay. In introduction, it's the start. If you will bound your audience in start, then he or she will read the whole essay. State a common misconception, describe different types of problems, and give different types of analogies and analyses. Show how the topic is related to the experience of reader, or how this topic will give new information to the reader. For example, people don't learn bad habits from genomes, they learn it from the environment. Everyone knows what a problem genome mapping has become in our society. Genomes are just like children. Most people know how difficult it is to take care of garden genomes. So when you will write these types of catchy statements, if you are going to write an essay on genomes or genomics, these types of studies, then you have to use these types of catchy phrases. Introduction make a bridge to connect the attention getting sentences to your thesis statement. Common way to make a bridge is to explain why the topic is very important. This bridge is often a few sentences long. Conclude introductory paragraph with the most important idea of the essay, the thesis statement. Thesis statement, problem statement, we already discussed that in detail. So there are three parts we considered for the thesis statement, that are topic, opinion, and three reasons. The function of thesis statement to announce the topic to the reader. to reflect a judgment about the topic, and to provide the reader with the blueprint of what is to come in the paper. So the after that we have the body of the essay, and the body of the essay will develop the specific idea or the problem statement or the thesis statement we are going to address. And we have to give minimum three supporting evidence to support the idea or the to support the thesis statement or the problem statement with the logical conclusion. And each idea should have different sentences and paragraphs, and we have to conclude it accordingly. Arrange the main idea in logical order, time, place, and its importance. Plan out each body paragraph by listing major details that support each main idea. Order the details within each paragraph in a logical way. Each body paragraph may end with the concluding sentences that we already discussed in detail. Are then we have to write it minimum 3 to 5 paragraphs should be in the body, and every paragraph should have its own introduction and conclusion. Number of paragraphs depends on the type of essay you are going to write, and the complexity of the essay. And the main point is to arrange the data and to plan the data and to organize the idea. So all the paragraphs should have conciliation with each other and the reader did not get bored. Remember to use signal words to make smooth transitions between sentences and the paragraphs. So what are signal and transition words we already discussed in our paragraph writing lecture. So here we have some small example like for example, for instance, to illustrate initially, furthermore, in addition, additionally, moreover, also, contrary, in contrast, although, though, however, whatever, likewise, similarly, in comparison. All these types of words are transition words, so we have to use that for the smooth reading and for the smooth writing. So these are all the examples like we have for exception, however, nevertheless, but yet, still. For emphasis, if you want to do some emphasis on a specific sentence, you have to write above all, finally, more importantly. Similarly, if you want to also give stress for the understanding, in other words, in a sense and briefly. So these are the examples of signal and transition words. In conclusion, the conclusion should be logical. The conclusion should coincide with the problem statement or thesis statement. So if you don't have this one, then your essay will not have the specific soul that it actually should have. Leave an impression on your reader. So your reader should think about your essay after reading it. No new information in conclusion, just the conclusive remarks. Should follow logical form. The body of the essay restate your thesis statement or your problem statement in different words and or in a conclusive words. Thank you so much everyone for joining. If you have any question, please raise your hand. Okay, good, no question. Thank you so much everyone for joining.